started in my garage about 2008 or 9. And we did it in the medical, obviously, system, and we just got to a point, I think, where we just had to shut down or move on to a bigger building. And we looked for like 11 months, and last minute my friend was like, hey, I just bought a building if you guys want to move in. So I was like, this is like 2009. And then that was like 2014. So we've been growing for about 5 years prior to that. And yeah, we just packed everything in a van, pulled in, and set up shop. So it was a pretty insane time, I think, the transitioning period between medical and rec and what the laws allowed for. And luckily, Oregon was progressive to really do the whole canopy laws as opposed to plant count. And that's kind of where we decided to make this massive switch up in our processes, going from HID to LED. And so I think we had probably done some like veg LED in about 2015, and it was great. We never replaced the bulbs. It was just a simpler system to manage and had really good results. And so the company we had been working with, was like trying to get us to move to flower LED, and we're like, I don't know, man. Just the technology wasn't there yet, and I was a little suspect of it. And we tried one out, and to kind of cross your point about mixing LED with HID in a test room, that's exactly what we did. We didn't have a choice. And I saw just a better plant, healthier plant. And it didn't take me long to make that decision to be like, all right, we're gonna do this. And the laws came into focus with the canopy law. So the light guys were like, hey, you should look at this one system in Vegas that was doing this vertical thing. And I'm like, what? I had no idea what the vertical growing system was. So we took the leap and we bought 6 of these movable racks and had no idea if the lights would fit in them. But luckily, it all kind of bolted in pretty nicely.
I didn't load your photos.
Oh, you're
I'm
good.
going to shut this, but I'm going to get them up.
Yeah, go for it. So the photo I'm going to show you is one that was the first prototype room, and what we've done since then is much different, but I'll come back to that.
Yeah, sorry.
You're good. So basically going from plant count to canopy size, we can now basically grow LEDs, I thought after looking back, the way it should have been done, which is about tight biodensity and getting your plants super close to the lights using dimming technology, which was unheard of because people were like, you need this amount of light. And I was like, well, I can see the plant reacting very negatively. And after the first round, we dropped our intensity down about 50%. And so we sit right around 800 ppfd micromole rating, whatever you want to call it. But the amount of watts that we're saving because of the fact that we're just bringing the plants closer to the lights was astronomical. We were able to now power our lights on average of less than 300 watts per fixture. So that added to the savings, and then obviously no bulb replacement. But the real sustainable kind of vision is kind of your real estate, I kind of felt because we're able to basically take an 8,000 square foot building total, and cram in a 10,000 square foot canopy, two mother rooms, a clone room, trim room, bathrooms, dry room. So it should be a 25,000 square foot building in 8,000 square feet. But that was a product of necessity. It wasn't by design. We were in this building, my friend owned it, like I said, and we weren't going to move. This is in the era of in Bend, that is, not a lot of real estate availability, and we built all these rooms, so it just wasn't practical for us to move. So I was kind of a lot of people say, oh man, you guys just, this is really cool. I was like, well, we didn't have a choice. And that's really the thing that's kind of unique about our situation is that we kind of foresaw some of the issues that were happening or were going to happen with unlimited licenses and all this stuff. So we took this big leap, and it's coming along. We've definitely learned a lot in terms of our you know, we failed a lot. I mean, to get to this point, let me just say, like, it wasn't like, oh, you just plug it in, good to go. I mean, there was a lot of issues with nutrition, like you mentioned, and, you know, we run everything in a soil-based system too, which is super unique. So our rooms are designed like this. They're basically about 400 square feet. We have about 6 of these 8x4 rack systems that are on tracks, and our ceilings are 10 feet. So we basically built these levels to maximize our 10 feet. Maybe we're a little greedy, but we did 4 levels. So our plants are only about 2 feet tall max. Sometimes they get a little bit bigger, you gotta weave them into the scrog, which is always a fun exercise. But so yeah, you know, that was about 2016 was that first room that Derek's gonna pull up here, and
That one there?
yeah, so this is like the first room we did. It was like we retrofitted it from a medical room. We didn't tear it down. We basically just gutted it, redid the walls, and you know, we did this insane ducting system you see here. And basically, what there's no moving fans. There's none of that stuff that you're probably familiar with. But we basically did a closed loop system, which added again to the complexity of dealing with, you know, atmospheric kind of stuff. We ended up basically building one room. This is actually the cool part of this whole story is that we didn't just build the whole facility. We didn't tear it all down. We had medical style rooms, big lights. That's under the LEDs, of course. That's the Tropicana cookies.
Do you want to show the video? Does that help?
Yeah, I think the video would help give perspective. And the thing about rooms are so small that even if you're like in the room, it's hard to see what's going on. And even in the picture, it's really hard. But I think this video might tell a little bit in terms of the density of it. And you know, it was just a really cool exercise in what to do if you're crazy. I mean, so yeah, this is like the movable racks. You kind of get a vision as far as like the levels, of course. It's a short video, but what we're trying to show there is just like the fact that you can cram all these plants in there and you can actually have success that way. And again, we're talking about sustainability and trying to do things to drive your costs down. Sure, you're going to save some money, but there's going to be other parts of your business that's going to go up in price. You know, we're not trying to like basically make this a super, you know, least cost of everything. You know, we decided to do this approach with the soil, living soil. We blend all of our nutrients. You know, we probably do things way crazier than probably what most people would do, but we didn't want to sacrifice quality. And I think a lot of people think LED is actually like the sin of quality, in that you can't really get to where you want to be. And I think that's actually correct in certain genetics. Not all genetics are meant for LED, and I think that's to do with the UV light. So we noticed that some varieties just couldn't quite get that aroma, like the OGs and like the stuff that I think more like grows in like way high northern latitudes, where like you get like end of season like sun angle where you produce way higher UV. A lot of LEDs aren't equipped with UV, so a lot of the berry strains do perform better for us. And, yeah, we got the solar thing going on too. So that was 2016. We did that. Well, 2015, I believe. So that was before rec. I guess we believed in ourselves a little too much, but we thought that like we're gonna be around, and luckily we still are. But this is a 56 kilowatt system. This is 300 watts a panel. About 4,000 square foot building, and then this building across the way, we have that. So it's like one business, but they designed it weird. There's like 2 buildings. So we're actually installing the solar panel system right now. It should be completed next week. That's a 53 kilowatt system. So we'll have 100. Yeah. So we'll have 100 kilowatts total, which is about an offset of maybe 30% of our total electricity, and we'd like to do more of that in the future, but. Probably with more community power type styles that might be coming down the pipe here next couple of years. Hopefully with Pacific Power, maybe letting this happen more frequently, where we can basically make a deal with a guy that owns a solar farm and be like, hey, I'm gonna come to you directly as opposed to Pacific Power. And I will touch on Pacific Power being the best utility to work with in Oregon because of like the Oregon Energy Trust. if you're in Bonneville, you don't really get these like rebates that are super critical to making LEDs really affordable. And without the Energy Trust, this would not have been possible.
I think PG&E did.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Did you get a grant for this solar setup on this 4,000 square foot building?
There were rebates and federal tax credits. So it basically, that was a $200,000 system that after through all the credits became a $50,000 out of pocket with about a 5-6 year payoff period.
Okay.
So yeah, that's Deschutes Growery.
Sweet.